Okay, next time. يوم يقول المنافقون والمنافقات للذين آمنوا انظرونا نقتبس من نوركم. Okay, so يوم on that day يقول المنافقون والمنافقات. The munafiqun and the munafiqat, the hypocrite men and women. And this is again, note how we discuss the individuality of men and women in terms of the believing men and women. The same is here in terms of the hypocrites. يقول, they will say, لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا, to the people, to the believers, انظرونا, wait for us, نقتبس من نوركم, so that we may also gain and benefit from your nur. قِيلَ رَجِعُوا, it will be said to them. And this, like, the believers won't say to them. It will be said to them in a sense that maybe Allah, or maybe, like, basically it's not the believers who are like, oh, they're all self-righteous now, that, oh no, this is our nur. It will be said to them by some other means. قِيلَ رَجِعُوا, that قِيلَ أَرْجِعُوا, return, وَرَاءَكُمْ, and there will be a barrier, a curtain, a wall placed between them. فَالْتَمِسُوا نُورًا, and it will be said to them that go back and, like, find your nur, find nur for yourself. فَضُرِبَ بَيْنَهُمْ, and wait, what does فَضُرِبَ mean? Oh yeah, so something will be placed between them, بَيْنَهُمْ, بِسُورٍ, a wall, لَهُ بَابٌ, with a wall, with a door, بَاطِنُهُ, and on the outside of it, on the inside of it, like on one side of it, بَاطِنُهُ, on the far side of it from the munafiqeen, فِيهِ رَحْمَةٌ, there will be rahmah, وَظَاهِرُهُ, and on the side facing them, in front of them, مِنْ قِبَلِهِ الْعَذَابِ, there will be adab for them. And so again, we mentioned that we saw that munafiqeen, they on that day will not have the same nur that the believers have. They will not have nur at all. So for them, it will be pitch dark when they're crossing Pul Sirat. And what they will do is they will try to share in the light of the believers, but Allah will place a wall between them. And they will be said to try and go back. It says, or irji'u wara'akum, go back behind you. And what that means is essentially try and go back to the world. فَالْتَمِسُوا نُورًا, and try to find nur for yourself. Try to do some good deeds and find nur. But like, this is sort of like, you can call it sarcasm or rubbing it in their face, essentially. That, oh, if you can, now go back to the world and go back to the worldly life and find some nur for yourself, because now is not the time. And then a wall will be placed between them, and they will be separated from the believers. Then ayah 14 goes, يُنَادُونَهُمْ أَلَمْ نَكُمْ مَعَكُمْ. يُنَادُونَهُم, they will call out to, أَلَمْ نَكُنْ مَعَكُمْ, were we not with you? Were we not with you, among you, in the world, in the worldly life? We were in your groups, we were in your, like in your mahfil, we were with you, in your company. قَالُوا بَلَى, the mu'mineen will say, Bala, of course you were. وَلَكِنَّكُمْ فَتَنْتُمْ, but what you did was you put yourself in fitna. فَتَنْتُمْ أَنفُسَكُمْ, you put yourself in fitna. وَتَرَبَّصْتُمْ, and you were in a state of, like, you waited, وَتَرَبَّصْتُمْ, that you were like unsure, you had realized that you needed to do something. You're like, okay, maybe we'll do it later. You realize that, oh, it's time for namaz, but like, okay, we'll pray, but like not now. We'll pray later. There's still time. There's like a good hour until the time runs out. So we'll pray in 45, 50 minutes. That kind of thing. وَارْتَبْتُمْ, and you doubted. You were in doubt. You were like, oh, well, I've done so much already. Maybe Allah won't forgive me. And doubt goes both ways, actually. Doubt is like, but like we'll cover in this. Wartabtum is primarily the negative doubt that, oh, Allah won't forgive me, or I've already done so much. What's the point of praying now? Or what's the point of repenting now? And then وغرتكم الأماني. And what this means is you like were basically assuming things about Allah that were okay. Let me think how I'm gonna phrase this. Yeah, you were basically wishful thinking. You had wishful thinking. You had like your own delusions about things. You were like, oh, I mean, what? Who else is the Jannah for if not for us? We are the people. We are the ummah of the Prophet. We are the ones who, like, follow the Prophet. We are the ones who are given the Quran. We pray. We do this. Of course, the Jannah is for us. Who else? It's not for the Jews and the Christians, is it? It's for us. Like, of course, who else will get it if not us? That's wishful thinking. حتى جاء أمر الله, until the command of Allah came. وغركم بالله الغرور. And غركم is you were deceived. Yeah, you were deceived billahi about Allah. Al-ghurur by what is al-ghurur? Oh, okay. So by the deceiver, by the one who like puts you in doubt, which is basically shaitan. So what will okay? So let's recap. I'm sorry, my mind is all over the place. When they will call out to the believers, the munafiqeen will call out to the believers that were we not with you? Share your light with us. Let us be among you here as we were among you in the world. So they will say, yeah, you were with us in the world. وَلَكِنَّكُمْ فَتَنْتُمْ, but you put yourself in fitna. وَلَا فَتَنْتُمْ أَنفُسَكُمْ, you put yourself in fitna. وَتَرَبَّسْتُمْ, and you waited. You didn't do things immediately when they became clear to you. وَارْتَبْتُمْ, and you doubted. You put yourself in doubt. وَغَرَّتْكُمُ الْأَمَانِيُّ, and you deluded yourself. You put yourself in delusion. You had all these wishful thinkings that, oh, we are the chosen people of the Lord. If who else is going to get Jannah if not us? We are the ummah of the Prophet, right? So, and then حتى جاء أمر الله, until the command of Allah came. What is the command of Allah? It's one of two things. It's either death or qiyamah. So, and I think there's a hadith about this. I don't remember the exact wording, but it goes to the effect of whoever dies, their qiyamah is like has started, because your succession of like deeds has ended. Now there's no more deeds that are being recorded for you. So your qiyamah has already started. Like there's nothing you can do about your judgment now, right? So حتى جاء أمر الله, until the command of Allah comes. وغركم بالله الغرور, and al-ghurur, the one who is the most deceiving, the deceiver, deceived you about Allah. فَالْيَوْمَ لَا يُؤْخَذُ مِنْكُمْ, so today, لا يُؤْخَذُ, nothing will be taken minkum from you, fidyatun, as like as a penalty, or as it says ransom here, but ransom in the sense that you can't like pay your way out of this. You can't, like, oh, sure, I didn't do this, but now like I can pay a penalty and then get out of it. No. That's not. A fidya is not acceptable now. The time has run out. فَالْيَوْمَ لَا يُؤْخَذُ مِنْكُمْ فِدْيَةٌ وَلَا مِنَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا, or from, okay, now this is important. فَالْيَوْمَ لَا يُؤْخَذُ مِنْكُمْ, it would not be accepted from you. A fidya will not be accepted from you. وَلَا مِنَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا, or from the people who disbelieved, the الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا. Now, what does this mean? This is basically establishing the fact that the munafiqeen and the disbelievers, the kafir, the الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا, will be the same on the Day of Judgment. In this world, the munafiqeen and the mu'mineen, they are in the same group. Like, at least to us, not to Allah knows, but like, we don't know, right? And that's the way it's supposed to be. Like, you can't judge someone's iman or nifaq. You're not supposed to do that. You've actually been told not to. Sorry. Even the Prophet, peace be upon him, even when he knew who were the munafiqeen and who weren't, he did not reveal them. And that's the way of this world. Like, Allah does not want people judging other people's iman in this world. That is up to Allah. So in this world, the kafir are one group, the kuffar are one group, and the munafiqeen and mu'mineen are part of the same group of Muslimin, because they both, at least publicly, they say that they accept Islam, right? But in the hereafter, on the Day of Judgment, فَالْيَوْمَ, on that day, nothing will be accepted as ransom from them, from you, basically. It's addressing the munafiqeen, right? Nothing will be accepted as a penalty from you, وَلَا مِنَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا, or those who disbelieved. So you are now the same group as the kuffar. Like, sure, in the world you were with the mu'mineen, but no more. That is done. You got the worldly benefits. Now, for the punishment, you get the same punishment, or actually even when you look at hadith, it's the worst. It's worse punishment than the kuffar. The munafiqeen will be in the lowest pits of Jahannam. Allahumma ajirna min al-nar. Ma'wakumun nar. Your living place, your settlement is an-nar, the fire, the hellfire. Hiya mawlakum wa bi'sal masir. And it is mawlakum. It is like your friend. Mawlakum is, it's probably not a good word. Here, what does the translation say? It is most worthy. Okay, yeah. So it is basically most worthy of you in the sense that you deserve it now. You both deserve each other. Hiya mawlakum. You are most deserving of it. But bi'sal masir. And what a terrible, what a wretched, what an evil place to stay. What an evil settlement. Okay. So this is what, now if we recap again, why we're discussing munafiqeen is that who are the munafiqeen? First it describes for us who are the munafiqeen. They're the ones who put themselves in fitna. وَلَكِنَّكُمْ فَتَنْتُمْ أَنفُسَكُمْ. You put yourselves in fitna. وَتَرَبَّصْتُمْ. And you waited. You were, always in this state of should I not? You didn't step up and say labbaik to when Allah and His Prophet called. You were always in a state of should I not? Then وَارْتَبْتُمْ. And you doubted. You doubted the mercy of Allah. You doubted the forgiveness of Allah. You doubted just about everything, right? وَغَرَّتْكُمُ الْأَمَانِيُّ. And you were deluded, you were deceived, you were put in delusion by your own imaginations, essentially. What is wishful thinking? Wishful thinking is just you imagining things that aren't actually there. Like, you're just making things up. So these four things, for these four things that they did, what is their punishment? That no recompense, no ransom will be accepted from them, no fidya will be accepted from them. And ma'wakumun nar, their place, their residence, their settlement now is Jahannam. So this is essentially for self-analysis. We're not supposed to, like I've repeated again, that we're not supposed to judge anyone else's iman in this world. That is a big no-no, and we might discuss that later. But this is for our own self-analysis, that this is nifaq, this is what the munafiq did, and this is what we need to save ourselves from. Because we find from several sources that the punishment for nifaq is worse than that of disbelief. Because the disbelievers could, in a sense, claim that, like, for them, it sort of makes sense that they never tasted Iman, right? They never knew what they needed to do. They never really studied it. But the munafiq, they accepted. They knew what they needed to do. They were well versed. Yet they still did not do it. They claimed that they were servants of Allah. They claimed that they were Muslims, but they didn't do anything that Allah ordered. Hence, the punishment for them is worse than that of the disbelievers. And we need to constantly check ourselves, because nifaq is something that can creep in so quietly, and it is so deadly. It literally eats away at your habits, at your good deeds, at your iman. It literally burns your iman away. And you need to constantly keep yourself in check for it. And that's why we find it repeated at several places, again and again in the Quran, that just be aware of nifaq. Don't let yourself fall into hypocrisy. And that's why this is a really important topic, and I think it should come up again during these next few days, inshallah. Jazakumullahu fi. Assalamu alaikum.